Hey guys, my name is Avigat and in this video I'll be writing a Java program to display the Fibonacci series. So before I start with the program, I'll just explain to you what a Fibonacci series even is. So this is basically the Fibonacci series. It starts from 0, then 1, 1 again, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13 and so on. So over here there's a very clear pattern that's visible. So when you add up the first two terms, you will get the third term. So for example 0 plus 1 which will give you 1, then 1 plus 1 which will give you 2, then 2 plus 1 which will give you 3, then 3 plus 2 which will give you 5, 5 plus 8 which will give you 13. And that's how the series basically continues, and we'll be writing a program for this. Okay, so the first term over here is 0. So I'll give this a value of f, okay, which is short for first term. And over here, so basically f is 0. As you can see, this number 1 is the second term of the series, so I'll say s, and over here I'll say s is equal to 1. And now I'll have to use the first two terms to calculate the third term. So I'll say t, and currently I won't give it a value because that's what we're going to have to calculate. So the third term is basically the sum of the first two terms, right? So t will be equal to f plus s. So over here the third term is 1, and I will just write this as t, and basically f plus s over here is 0 plus 1, which will give you 1, and that is going to be the first for loop. So after this for loop runs one time, then we'll have to repeat the same process for the rest of the Fibonacci series. So after this is done, I'll have to change the value of f and I'll have to change the value of s again to calculate the fourth term in the Fibonacci series. So to do that, I will change the second term's value to be the first term's value, and I'll change the third term's value to be the second term's value, and I'll delete the first term over here. So over here, to calculate the third term, again we'll have to do f plus s. So the previous two terms, we'll have to add them up to find the third term. So over here f plus s is 1 plus 1, which is 2, and I'll just update the values over here. So over here f is equal to 1, s is equal to 1 again, it stays the same, and t over here is equal to 2. Okay, so now the for loop has been run the second time. Now I'll repeat the same process to calculate the fifth term. So over here I'll just delete this s, I'll make this f, so the second term will become the first term and the third term will become the second term. And over here I'll just delete the first term, and now we have a new set of first and second terms, and we'll be using this to calculate the third term. So over here the third term will be again f plus s, which is 1 plus 2, and I'll give you 3. So let me just update these values over here. So f over here is still 1, s will become 2, and t over here is 3. Now the for loop has been run the third time. Let's run it one more time so you'll get a better understanding. Again, what I'll do is I'll change the value of the second term to be the first term. So here I'll just make it f, and the third term will become the second term, so I'll make this s, and I'll delete this value over here. And now to calculate the sixth term of this Fibonacci series, I will add up the first and the second term. So t is equal to f plus s, which is 2 plus 3, and I'll give you 5. And basically that is the logic of this Fibonacci series. Let me just change the values over here. So f over here is 2, s is 3, and t is 5. So without further ado, let's start with the program. Okay, so here I've already written the basic format of every Java program. I started with import java.util.scanner because we'll be taking input from the user. Then I've written class. Then I've written public static void main, followed by scanner s equals to new scanner. The first thing I'll do in this program is create my integer variables. So I'll say int. Now the first variable I'll create is f, which is short for first. So this will store the first term of the Fibonacci series. So I'll give this a value of 0 because we saw that the Fibonacci series starts with 0. Then I'll create the second variable, which is s, and this I'll give this a value of 1 because the second term in the Fibonacci series is 1. And I'll create my third variable, which is t, and I won't give this a value for now because we'll be calculating this as we go on in the program. Then I will create a number variable to gather input from the user to see till when the Fibonacci series is going to run till. So I'll say n, and that is the variables part. Now we'll move on to gathering input from the user. So I'll say system.out.println, and here I will say enter a value, and I'll store this value in this num variable. So I'll say n is equal to sc.next int. Now before I start with my for loop, I will just display the first two terms. So we already know the values of the first two terms, which is 0 and 1. So I'll simply say system.out.println. Here I'll display the value of f. So f, I'll just copy this, paste it down here, system.out.println, and here I'll print out s. So the first two terms have already been displayed, so 0 and 1 are already there. Now I'll move on to writing my for loop. So I'll say for. Now the first thing is to initialize the variable. So I'll say int I is equal to, so I'll give I a value of 3 because I want the program to start from the third term, because we've already displayed the first two terms, so I'll only start it from the third term. So I'll say I is equal to 3. Then I have to write the code to determine till when the for loop will run. So I'll say I less than or equal to n. And the third part is to see if it's going to increase or decrease. Here I want to increase the value of I, so I plus plus. And within this I will begin writing my code. So as we saw, to calculate the third term, we just have to add up the first two terms. So I'll say t is equal to f plus s. Now that we got this third term, I will simply display it using the print statement. So system.out.println, and I'll just display t. And at the beginning of the video, I also explained to you that after each for loop has been run, the value of s will become the initial value of f, and the value of t will become the initial value of s. So to do that, I will simply say f is equal to s and then s is equal to t. Okay, so here our program is complete. I'll just explain this part in brief and then I'll just show you the output. So let's say the entered value over here is 5. So I'll be displaying 5 terms in the Fibonacci series. So over here I'm already displaying 0 and here I'm displaying 1. So this part is sorted. Now over here I'm calculating the value of t. So t's value over here will become f plus s, which is 1. So t is equal to 1. And here I'm simply displaying this t value. So here I'll print out 1. Now over here I'm saying that the first number value will equal to the second number's value. So over here the second number's value is 1. So the new value of the first number will become 1. So I'll say f is equal to 1. And here the value of the new second number will become the value of the old third number. So s is going to be 1 because t over here is 1 as we calculated. So now that this part is done, I will run the for loop once again. This time t is equal to f plus s. F over here is 1 and s again is 1. So t is equal to 1 plus 1, which is 2. Now instead of displaying 1, I will be displaying the value of t, which is 2. And here f is equal to s. So s's value over here is 1. So f will still remain 1, while t's value is 2. So s will become 2. And now I'll run the for loop again. This time t is equal to f plus s. So it's going to be 1 plus 2, which is 3. So over here it will display 3. Now f is equal to s, so s over here is 2, so f's value will become 2, and t's value is 3, so s will become 3. So this process will basically continue and it will keep on displaying the value of t as we go on, and that will basically display the Fibonacci series until the value of n. So let me just compile this and I'll show you the output. So compile, void main, enter a value. Let me input 5. Here it shows me the first 5 terms of the Fibonacci series, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. Now let me input a bigger number, so let's say 40. Here it's showing me all the values in the Fibonacci series until the 40th term, which is this big number. So this program will basically make it a lot easier to calculate the Fibonacci series than doing it manually. So yeah, that is all for this video. If you want the code, it will be available on my website, avigatgupta.com. So make sure you check it out. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as possible. And if you learned something new, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and see you later. Bye.